Okay, so let's start looking at some multiple choice questions. And the very first question we have here is what percentage of 40 is 8? Now, the question sounds a little bit confusing, but it's actually pretty straightforward. You need to remember that you're looking at percentage, so you need to remember how the percentage formula. So let's just write this up before we actually go ahead and solve. So percentage is equal to, I'm going to put it in a bracket, the part to be divided by the whole. Let's close this bracket now, and it's going to be multiplied by 100. So what we need to now do is just substitute. And in substituting, what we actually understand is that 8 is the part and 40 is the whole. And we're going to multiply this now by 100. So this 0 is going to cancel this 0. 4 1s 4, 4 2s 8. So what we have is 2 and 10. So we're going to do 2 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 20. So the answer is B. Now I'm still to decide exactly how to go about with circling, but remember you have to shade for your CXC. So I'll try to do some shading as I actually go more into answering the questions. Okay, so the next question we're looking at is what is the exact value of 6 divided by 0.003? So we need to understand this is actually a division style question, and there are several different approaches you can take to actually solve it. So let me just give you one approach, and maybe this does help you understand what this particular word is, and that word is reciprocal. So what we're looking at is the reciprocal of here. So what we're going to do, or what you would generally do, you would just say that you have 6 divided by 0.0003. That would be your normal approach. But making this the reciprocal, which is here in our divisor, we're actually going to do a conversion. So I'll do a little bit more explanation of how you do this in another video. So just to help you moving along with this, the reciprocal of 0.0003 is actually going to be written as 1 divided by 0.0003, which is, as a reciprocal, 3.33. So, like I said, in another video, I'll actually break this down more in depth, but let's just go ahead and actually solve this part now. So what we have is 6 multiplied by 3,333.33. Now, what we need to also recognize is this here, it wants the exact value. And we have here 6, and then we have this here is in thousands. So it's the closest thing we actually can say is 3,000. So 6 times 3,000 is 18,000. And the closest thing we actually have here to 18,000 is 20,000. So like I said, look forward to a future video where I actually go more into this, because I don't want to actually spend the video going over a lot of basic concepts. So you can look forward to actually that happening. Now for question 3, we have 6 times 10 to the negative n is equal to 0.06, where n is greater than 0. What is the value of n? Now, in this question here, like again, there are several different approaches that can be done to actually solve it. So what exactly is the method that I'll be using? So as I'm looking at the question, what I will be using is how we actually can go and approach this. So let's use subject of the formula. So we'd have 6 times 10 to the negative n is equal to 0.06. Now, we want to solve for n, so we're isolating here. And like we say, we're going to move this across. Now, when moving it across, since it's multiplying, it's going to now divide. So 10 to the negative n is equal to 0.06 to be divided by 6. Therefore, 10 to the negative n power is equal to 0.01. Now, to rewrite 0.01 to the power of 10, it's actually pretty simple. So let's go back into a little bit of the basics here. So 0.01. So here is our ones. This is our tens. This is our hundreds. So I'm just going to put THS here. So with that being said, hundreds, we know to ourselves means the power needs to be 2. So this here actually tells us that it's 10 to the second power. However, notice that here it's after the decimal. That's why it would need to be negative 2. So what we have here, we already have the negative by n. So the answer here would need to be B, 2. Now, if you want to actually just get a little bit more of, let's say, work done on these concepts, you can look forward to some worksheets that I'll be providing to you and some explanation videos as well in the near future. But for now, let's move on to the next question. And for this question, we're told that Paula bought 1 7/8 meters of fabric to make a shirt, while Rita bought 1 3/4 meters to make her shirt. How much more fabric did Paula buy than Rita? So here again, we actually have a basic approach, and what we need to do is convert these mixed fractions to improper fractions. So let's now first start with Paula. So for Paula, it is 1 7/8. Now, before I continue, let me say again, there are different approaches to actually doing this. This is just one of many that you can use. So we're going to do 8 times 1 plus 7 is 15 over 8. And then for the next approach, we have to look now for Rita. And for Rita, it's 1 3/4. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7 over 4. So we're here. So what we'll now do is we'll just do 15 over 8, subtracting 7 over 4. Applying our LCM here is 8. So 8 divided by 8 would give us 1, and 8 divided by 4 would give us 2. 1 times 15 is 15. 7 times 2 is 14. Therefore, it's 1/8 more. So this means our answer here is going to be A. Okay, so moving on now to the next question. The value of 29.94 times 0.5 is approximately what? Now, this is one where I'll actually show you 2 different approaches to actually doing this. Now, the first approach is actually very straightforward. You look here, and when we look here, we can recognize that this here is close to 30. And 0.5 is a half. So we just do divided by 2, which is going to give us the value as 15. So this is one approach because it says it's once approximately. So that's one approach you can make. Recognizing that this here is close to 30 and 0.5 is a half. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Now, if you don't know that, of course, you'd actually have to do it the longer way. Now in the longer way, what you would have is 29.94 times 0.5. Now recognize I'm not pulling up a calculator simply because this is paper 1 and you are not allowed to use a calculator for the exam. So doing this way now, I'm going to break it down step by step. So here we have 0 and we have 5. Now generally you could just go ahead and ignore that, but so that for those that probably don't remember, I'll do it the way where I acknowledge this 0. So I place 0 here in the place of 5. 0 times 4 is 0, 0 times 9 is 0, 0 times this 9 is 0, and 0 times 2 is 0. Now we come here, 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 9 is 45, and 2 is 47. 5 9 is 45, and 4 is 49. 5 times 2 is 10, and 4 is 14. And we're going to add these now. So we have 0, 7, 9, 4, and 1. If you miss that, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 7 is 7, 0 plus 9 is 9, 0 plus 4 is 4, 0 plus 1, 1. But we're not finished. How many decimal places do we have? We have 1, 2, and 3. So starting from here, we're going to move 1, 2, 3. So I have 14.97. So closest thing we have to that, 15. So let's now just go across here, and the answer here being 15. Okay, so the last question we actually have in the booklet for January 2018 to cover computation is there are 40 students in a class. Girls make up 60% of the class, 25% of the girls wear glasses. How many girls in the class wears glasses? Now, often students read this, and of course it's why all these percentages keep showing up. It's actually for you to actually look at it and take it into the different parts. So the first part we need to understand is, what is this 60% about? Like, this is the 60% that represents the girls. And then we notice that 25% of them are those that wear glasses. And the question here wants us to say, how many girls in the class wear glasses? So the first thing to do is actually work on the 60%. So what we do is 60 divided by 100 times 40. So this, we go here, 6 times 4 is 24. Now this here means that the class in total has 24 girls. So that's our first part. Our next part now is if actually ask ourselves, it's 25% of them that wears the glasses. So what we do next, we can simply go 25 divided by 100 times 24. Now, if you recognize 25 plus 25 is 50, which means 25 ones, 25, 25 fours is 100, 4 ones, 4, 4 sixes, 24. So we know that 6 girls wears glasses. Now, that there would cover the first 6 questions we have for multiple choice from the CSEC booklet that you'll be practicing with.